welcome to Follow Up Friday on 6 for 60. Today is Friday, January the 30th. Thanks for the comments on this week's episode about my favorite guest stars. and it's funny, I guess a lot of people don't think about guest stars. I don't know why it occurred to me, but it did. So I'm glad that you all enjoyed the episode. So one of the commenters said they really weren't familiar with Voyager and DS9 because they just kind of hit them, hit or miss. And they asked me to provide my top 5 for each one of those shows. And I thought that was a great suggestion. So in case someone here who is watching isn't, a fan, they've not, sat down and really paid a lot of attention to those two series, here are my top 5. So I'm going to start with Voyager. And it would have to be number 1 is a combo because it was a 2-parter. It's The Year of Hell. Those 2 episodes were just amazing. I'm not sure if it'll have quite the same emotional impact for somebody who's just jumping into the series and hasn't kind of like built a relationship with the characters. But just as a standalone, I think it's really good sci-fi. It's really good writing. And if you are familiar with those characters, you will definitely be emotionally vulnerable for the things that they're going through. And even if you're not a big fan of Voyager, I think that The Year of Hell, 2 great episodes. That's season 4, episodes 8 and 9. And it really gives you a good look into the characters and how they deal with difficulties and how they're trying to, maintain Federation values, but also survive their relationships with each other. It's just a really beautiful little short 2 episodes together. The next one is Emanations. This is season 1, episode 8, where Harry Kim, in a transporter accident, gets sent to what is essentially a death moon. So there's an exploration there of people's religious values and the ideas of life after death and how aliens deal with life after death, and just there's just a lot in that episode. I thought it was a beautiful exploration. And folks are always, oh, Star Trek is about going out and exploring and learning new things. It really takes you right to the edge about what you're willing to believe and accept. So I thought that was just an amazing episode that really summed that all up, and also spotlighted Harry Kim. And he's kind of a running joke in Star Trek that he never gets promoted, and they just kind of changed that for us if you've been watching Starfleet Academy. So, but anyway, a little joke there for people who know. My third is Basics. That's season 2, episode 26, and season 3, episode 1. Again, another 2-parter. This is where Seska helps steal the ship, and the crew gets abandoned on a planet, on a horrible planet that's not really great for sustaining life. Again, it's really good. If you don't know, again, Voyager really got started because they were supposed to be going after the Maquis. So the Maquis are a group of rebels, Federation citizens who got kind of the short end of the stick in a peace deal that the Federation brokered with the Cardassians, and they ended up kind of on the wrong side of the line, living in Cardassian space, and they were just fighting because they wanted their homes, so there's a lot of back and forth. Again, another look into the Federation. Is it really as moral as it says it is? Because these people were asked to give up their homes or live under Cardassian rule. And so Voyager was sent in to kind of root them out. And they ended up in the Delta Quadrant, and just all sorts of mishaps then follow after that. And unbeknownst to them, Seska was a Cardassian spy, undercover, who had been infiltrating the Maquis and just continued to wreak havoc on the ship. So let's see. Number 4 is Sacred Ground, season 3, episode 7. Um, why did I pick that one? Well, okay. I picked it for a reason. Is that the one where Chakotay meets the ancestors? I don't know. Again, don't think that I know these titles and these seasons off the top of my head. I have to go and look them up. I have to do research because I just sit here. Oh, somebody wants to know my top 5 Voyager. Oh, I like that episode and I like this one and I like that. And then I have to go and look up the seasons and the titles for you because I do not know these off of the top of my head. Um, Except for something like The Year of Hell because that was great and it's very well known. All right, well, I'll have to go back and figure out why I liked Sacred Ground. I must have put it there for a reason. Um, but number 5 is Tuvix, season 2, episode 24. And again, I think it's well known if you're even vaguely familiar with the Star Trek universe. You've probably heard about this episode where, again, transporter accident, and Neelix and Tuvok and Neelix and Tuvox get merged into a new sentient being, and they find a way to separate him back into his separate individual people. But Tuvix, this new creation, is just like, you are murdering me and I don't want to die. So that's a huge controversy there. People want to know, do you really think that Janeway murdered Tuvix, or did she just bring back her 2 separate officers? So there's a lot of controversy there. So for DS9, that was very difficult to try and pick 5 that are my favorite, because my favorite episode of DS9 is whatever I'm watching at the moment, because I love the entire series. It's amazing. It's my second favorite, right behind TOS. So, top 5. And you know I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to give you 5. It's a few more than 5. So, the first is The Visitor, which I've talked about before. That's season 4, episode 2. Again, beautiful. 2, The Pale Moonlight, season 6, episode 19. Again, another classic. Great standalone episode. If you don't want to binge the entire 7 seasons. The Assignment. This was season 5, episode 5, where a Pa-Wraith, which is the opposite of the prophets, they're kind of like the evil prophets, take over Keiko O'Brien's body. It was a great performance. In fact, that's my favorite Keiko performance, my favorite Keiko episode. And she did a great job acting. I forgot the actual actress's name. I'll have to look that up. But just a great episode. But again, by itself, it is something you could watch. You don't have to watch everything else. It's a good standalone episode. The Siege of AR 558. I think when I mentioned this in an earlier episode, I got the numbers wrong. But that is season 7, episode 8. So I really loved, again, great standalone episode. Loved it, not just because it featured Bill Mummy. You all know him in Sci-Fi World. But also because, unfortunately, Cisco was not getting a lot of love when DS9 first came out. There were all the complaints, oh, you're on a space station, not a ship, and oh, he's just a paper pusher, he's an administrator kind of thing. He's not a real captain, he's not a real leader. All the reasons why, folks did not care for him. But again, here, he showed, no, I care about all of my people under my command. People who are under my command. If you are in Starfleet, I am going to be here to stand for you and protect you. So he had no obligation to stay there on a planet. This is, the Dominion War is going on. And this poor group of Starfleet officers were supposed to be rotated off the planet months before, but they're still there. They're fighting. They've got horrible conditions. And Cisco makes the decision, I'm not going to abandon these folks here. I'm going to stay and help them fight. And again, he takes charge and saves everybody in the end. It's just a great episode that, again, not only showcases Cisco as a great leader, a compassionate leader, a strong and fierce warrior, great tactician, but just why he was worthy of being a true Star Trek captain and leader. So absolutely love that episode. Then we have Paradise. This was early on, season 2, episode 15, where Cisco and O'Brien get trapped on a planet where technology doesn't work. And you then later find out that the leader of this little group, this little settlement they're trapped in, has done it intentionally. That she stranded a whole ship full of people here away from technology because she felt that humanity was losing itself in the technology and somehow diminished by dependence on technology. And we've seen that theme from TOS all the way through. It's a reoccurring theme that helps us to stop and look at how we're using technology. Are we really making the best use of it, or are we somehow losing part of our humanity by over dependence on it? And Star Trek is classic for a reason. We can have that discussion right now with the rise of AI and all the water and electricity usage and the pollution that it causes. I won't get into that, but part of why I wanted to do this series is to talk about some of that, how Star Trek is relevant today for what's going on and how we can kind of avoid all of the horrors in the Star Trek future and just get to the good parts of Star Trek. So if you would like to comment on that in the comments, I'd love to hear your views on that. How do we wrangle, how do we manage our current technology dependency right now, and just do the best of it without abusing our planet. But anyway, okay. The next one is Paradise Lost. That is season 4, episode 11, where again, Cisco had many conversations. It was kind of a running theme of how everything is perfect on Earth, where we are a post-scarcity society where everybody has everything they need. Their basics are taken care of: food, clothing, education, medical care, food. All of that is taken care of by the Federation, by the state, so that people are free to pursue their passions and explore and grow as individuals and collectively. But yet the Dominion has just put 4 changelings on the planet, and everything's going to hell. People are losing their minds, and Earth is no longer that paradise that it once was, because people have lost that sense of security. So again, a great look into Federation life and how quickly we fall back, or could fall back into our old ways once we were threatened, and that sense of security was lost. And the final one, because I had to cut it off somewhere or I'd be talking for 12 hours, season 5, episode 6, Trials and Tribulations. So this is just a cute one. It's really funny. It was a great throwback for the Tribbles episode in TOS. They handled time travel wonderfully. It's a really cute episode, and so if you love TOS, you will definitely love Trials and Tribulations. The blending of the current with the existing TOS footage was seamless, absolutely seamless. It was really well done episode, and kind of cute. And it's a standalone. So if you were just a fan of TOS and have not watched anything new, you will definitely enjoy trials and tribulations. It might even encourage you to watch some other episodes, some DS9 or Voyager or something new. So thanks again. That's my follow up Friday. And keep the comments coming. Live long and prosper. Okay, so here it is. Sacred Ground for Voyager. Sacred Ground, Season 3, Episode 7. It was one of my favorites. Again, don't know the names. So it was where Kes, they're on a foreign planet, of course, and Kes goes towards a temple that I'm not quite sure if they knew they weren't supposed to be going there or not, but she gets injured by the force field or energy around it. And then Janeway undergoes all these trials to earn the privilege to ask for the gods of this particular planet to heal Kes. So I love it because she's going through all sorts of machinations and they're really challenging her on her beliefs and her scientific dependency. And at the end, you really are left wondering, was it science or the gods of this planet that healed Kes? So it, again, great episode, really makes you think and pushes you to kind of expand what you're willing to accept. But anyway, loved it. Give it a shot. And maybe you'll do better at remembering the episode names better than I do.